A joint borrower sole proprietor mortgage is when a home buyer adds either a family member or friend's income onto their mortgage application. At Tembo, we call this an income boost. It's a way for loved ones to help a buyer increase their affordability without handling over any cash. Only the buyer will own the property, the sole proprietor bit. Your loved one will be on the mortgage as a joint borrower. This means they won't own any of the property. Instead, they'll act as a guarantor, stepping in to pay the mortgage if you can't. By adding a loved one's income to your own mortgage application, you can increase your total income. With a larger income, you can increase the amount you can borrow. This is why JBSP is a good option for buyers who are still early on in their careers and might be on lower salaries, but expect their earnings to rise. Let's look at an example. Say you earn £25,000 per year. If you get a standard mortgage, you could borrow between 4 to 4.5 times your salary. This means alone, you could get a mortgage between 100 to 112,000. This might not be enough to buy a property where you live. If your mum earns 40,000 and you add her income to your mortgage application, your total income will go from 25,000 to 65,000. This means you could get a mortgage between 260,000 to 292,000. If later down the line your circumstances change and you can afford a mortgage by yourself, you can remove your mum from the mortgage altogether. Plus, because your loved one is a guarantor and not an owner, you won't lose your first time buyer relief for your stamp duty either. Just keep in mind that you and your guarantor will need to pass the lender's credit and affordability checks to qualify for a joint borrower sole proprietor mortgage. You will also have to fit the age restrictions. This depends on the lender you go with, but usually the oldest borrower has to be young enough that the mortgage term will end by the time they're 75 or 80. If your parents or grandparents are slightly older, another way they could help is through a saving as security mortgage or deposit boost. Many high street banks offer joint borrower sole proprietor mortgages, as well as some building societies. Each lender has their own criteria and restriction on who qualifies. It can be hard to know which lender is likely to accept your application. The easiest way to see what schemes you're eligible for is to work with a specialist mortgage broker. Here at Tembo, we specialise in helping buyers boost their affordability so they can get on the ladder sooner. We've already helped thousands discover how they could afford their dream home. In fact, on average, our customers boost their budgets up to £82,000. Head over to tembomoney.com today to see how much you could afford.